So let's search for Cosmos.
No.
There we go. So we should be able to find CosmosDB right at the top of the list. And the blurb there explains how awesome CosmosDB is, planet scale, schema agnostic, so forth. All the cool things that we're trying to use today. So click the create button, Adam, and we'll need to fill in some of the usual details of which subscription we want to use and the resource group. Today I think we want to reuse our Sydney V2 resource group. Give it an account name, so this will be the URL for our database, our Cosmos database. So Northwind dash Sydney.
What? Okay.
Now we have a choice of API. If you click on the drop down there, so we can use SQL, MongoDB, Cassandra, Azure Table, and Gremlin. These are all very different but very cool APIs to use. The data is all stored and queried in different ways, particular to what sort of way they're trying to solve the problem. But today we want to use a SQL database, or the SQL API.
Did that change from the word SQL to core SQL?
It's been core SQL for a while.
Has it?
Yeah. So we're going to create an Australia East.
Sydney?
Sydney.
Right. Geo-redundancy?
We can turn on geo-redundancy with the caveat of it makes everything a bit more expensive.
Yes. So we had a guy that will remain nameless who got a cool job at Microsoft, and he went ahead and started exploring a lot on Azure, and he created a whole lot of instances and turned every feature on and started load testing and trying everything. So he was super awesome at this and hit the ground running in his new job, which was all very cool, except he left it all running. And yes, we saw thousands of dollars in bills come through and go, what the hell is all this? Who did all this? He was long gone, and yes, now we rib him all the time about it.
Okay, so, but we can later just show how easy it is to turn that back on.
It's very easy to spend money. There we go.
That's right, you can crank it up to 11 very easily.
Can someone tell me, why does that change? Why is that? Why is that a different color? Oh, that's a different color too. What the hell?
I think the blue was the default.
Blue is default. Oh, purple is when it's been changed, but now it's back to the default, so it should go back to blue.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
Okay. Multi-region rights. This is a very cool setting. So in the scenario of we have a replicated database, one's the master, one's the slave, we can actually make all our databases the master. So it's just at an extra cost. So all the cool magic is taken care of behind the scenes for us. We don't have to worry about it. But yeah.
I'm a believer that when you enable this, dollar signs should pop up here.
That's right.
and more dollar signs.
And you have to sign your name.
Yes.
Agree to it all. But
you need to write the words "I am rich." Okay.
That's not that bad.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go create. We've got everything we need. We have some validation success there. You can see we're creating a SQL API, CosmosDB, and let's spin it up.
Now, should we download the template for automation?
Oh no, we don't need to do that right now. That's definitely something we can look at later.
And here we are, very subtly, little things here, little seconds are changing here. How long will this take?
Not too long, but I think you've zoomed in quite a bit. So if you
I've zoomed into 125, I can zoom out if you want. So it's not a lot.
All right, so now you can see everything that is being provisioned. This UI is consistent for all the resources being deployed in Azure. It always shows you what's being deployed, how long it's taken, and also where it's, which subscription it's going to, and the resource group as well.
So can I open it?
It's still being provisioned, so you can notice it's a blue non-spinning icon. But yeah, all we have is at the top, showing that it's being provisioned. So a little bit more about CosmosDB, as we saw in the information blurb before. That is, it is schema agnostic. So that means that any record that you write to the database can have a different structure than any of the other records. So you can have 4 fields in one object and 5 fields in another, and it does not care. That is up to your application once you read the data to deal with that change. Okay. Oh, has it? Oh, it's still busy.
No, it's still
busy provisioning.
I just thought I'd have a look.
Oh, you can get some of the information already, which is good.
Well, where it is.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully.
So once this is created, what are you going to do?
Once this is created, we're going to start with a quick start template that's provided through the Azure portal, so anyone can have access to it. They provide it in .NET, .NET Core, and a few other languages. So just to show how easy it is to interact with CosmosDB.
Because one of the normal things that goes on is you create a new type of data source you've never used before, like Cosmos. Then you go into your coding environment, let's just say Visual Studio. You go File, New Project, and then go, what's the connection string? How do I call this? Like, I know how to use Entity Framework in the old world. What do I do here? And so what you'll see is they've addressed this by giving you a little baby project which is automatically bound to that data, and you can see what code is there to use it.
All right,
and
so it's still provisioning?
It's usually not this slow to do this.
No, I think sometimes it just depends on how busy the network is.
So
Azure is so popular.
to actually add the new tables into this, what are they called?
So you're going to have different collections in CosmosDB, and inside of a collection you'll have documents.
And where do I do the editing of those collections?
Oh, so you have a few options actually. You can, we'll see once this has been deployed, you can edit your documents directly in the Azure portal through the Query Explorer.
Can I use good old Management Studio?
No, not at all.
Oh no.
You're out of luck there.
You're going to give me a nice tool to use?
There's a second and a third tool that you could use.
Yep.
We're hoping that the second tool would one day support CosmosDB, but currently it does not. It's the Azure Data Studio.
Oh, let's have a look at that. There we go.
So Azure Data Studio is the VS Code version of SQL Management Studio.
What's wrong with SQL Management Studio?
It's a beast. It's huge.
Oh, I got used to it.
So the thing is, we also now, or Linux supports Microsoft SQL Server as well, and there's no way for you to run SQL Management Studio on Linux. So Azure Data Studio, that is cross-platform. It can run on Mac and Windows and so forth. And it's just a lightweight version of the big SQL Management Studio.
So we're talking about Cosmos and what we can edit, and the answer is do not use Azure Data Studio.
No, but on its own, it's still very good for managing SQL databases.
All right, cool.
Our other alternative is the Azure Storage Explorer.
Okay. Azure
The
Storage.
second one. There you go.
Yep.
All right, so this one lets you use or access your Azure storage accounts and CosmosDB databases. You do need to install the Azure Storage emulator if you want to develop locally, and same for CosmosDB, you need to install the Cosmos emulator.
All right, but anyway, that's a step ahead. Why don't we just move on and just use what we have and use the browser for a while.
Yeah, so our CosmosDB has been provisioned. Now we can see it's already gone to the resource for us, and there's a quick start section. A lot of resources in Azure you'll see have a quick start section. In this case, we have the option of choosing .NET or .NET Core, and I think we're going to choose .NET Core.
Thank you.
Then to set up our demo or the quick start application, we can simply click that button. It'll set up a structure for us in CosmosDB that's going to work with this quick start application. And it's simply just a click and it's done.
And I've just added a collection, which is like, oh, it's told me how much it's going to cost too. You've got 10 gig storage capacity, and it's going to be costing you estimated hourly bill of, is it 3 cents?
3 cents, yeah, 3.3 cents
per hour. Okay. All right. So somebody do the calcs and tell us the month cost of that.
So that's if it's used continuously for a whole month.
Assuming it's getting 24-hour usage out of that.
So that's 720 hours.
I'll let them do it.
Let them do it?
Yeah.
All right. So now, Adam, we need to download the sample application.
Beautiful.
And we're going to extract that and open it up.
But where's my table? I added the collection.
Okay, well, we can see your data if you click on the Data Explorer.
Okay.
So here's the to-do list collection that they created for us with items, and the documents in that item See,
There's nothing.
we've got nothing so far, so we can't really look at the data yet.
Let's go and add some items in.
Right, so if you extract this application, then we're going to open that up with Visual Studio 2019, brand new. Where did it go?
It should be that one, is it? No?
Oh no, so I think you just downloaded that top one. Yep, right click, extract that one.
Didn't I just extract it?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So where's your folders? Just F5. There you go, that's that one with the 1. Yep, all right. And so now we can just open up the solution file. Quick start core.solution. Go up 1, yep.
Okay, let's use
preview.
Let's use the
2019 preview.
We don't. Let's always do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a sample app, and it's been automatically configured to read that database.
Yes, so just like a SQL database, you have a connection string to connect to that database. We can show you that in the portal later, but this application is already set up, ready to go. So we can press.
Can I see where its connection string is and stuff?
You can click on the app settings.json. And so these are your settings that you use for connecting to CosmosDB.
Okay, and where are
but they're
those
currently hidden.
They're hidden where?
I still have to dig that one out and find it for you.
Can we just do a search?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Control Shift F. Find all.
here we. Oh, that's just the same one, isn't it? Oh, app settings, JSON. That's.
I think there might be a file that's on the hard drive. It's not displayed in the solution.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay.
It keeps it nice and secure for you.
Anyway, it works magic.
A little bit of magic.
So let's just run it and have a look.
So this is the F5 experience. It will just work.
But we don't know how it works. Somehow there's a connection string.
We'll show you that later. All right, so we're going to run this application on our local host and then see how it works. We can enter some data, and then we're going to view the data in the Cosmos database.
Okay, Callum. What's your favourite car?
Lotus Exige.
What the hell is that? Lotus what?
Exige. E-X-I-G-E.
E-X-I-G-E. Can you afford it?
Not yet.
Okay.
One day.
All right.
All right, let's add another one.
Stephen, what's your favourite car?
Toyota Prado.
Prado. You like big gas guzzlers? I don't like you anymore. It's not very. They don't come in electric, do they? Yeah. All right. Cool. You need any more records?
2 is enough, I think. So we've saved the data there. You can see our application somehow reads and displays it. So let's just go to our Cosmos DB.
Okay.
I'll tab back to the Azure portal.
You want to see those 2 records?
Definitely.
Okay.
So go back to the Data Explorer.
They're not there. Let's refresh.
Correct. Let's refresh.
There we go.
There's 2 records.
So when we wrote that record, we should see the JSON document that was put there, and there it is.
That's right. So just to
This is kind of very cramped.
It's a bit cramped, so let's collapse some of the panels
Okay,
here.
let's collapse that. Get a bit more space. Let's collapse this.
Yep.
And
Should be able to scroll to the
can I
right a
close
bit
that
more.
as well. Oh, shivers.
Oops.
Okay, where's my undo? There's no undo. This is why we shouldn't use browsers. All right.
Okay, let's go to resource groups. We'll quickly
goodness.
go back to it. And went to Sydney V2.
And
Scroll down the list there. Oh, sorry, it's right at the top.
there we go.
It's got the little planet icon.
See that little icon?
Yep.
And now we go to Data Explorer, and we're back to where we were. And I will carefully minimize that.
Cool. There you
I'll
go.
click on that. I'll click on Documents. We will see that. And there is our JSON document. See, there's Callum's favorite car there.
Yeah.
All right?
All right. So, as I mentioned earlier, CosmosDB is a schema agnostic database. So we can actually go and modify this data structure.
You call that a database? That just looks like a piece of text.
The document database.
Okay, all right. Okay.
They call it document database. You can put a whole lot of stuff in. They can have nested objects, everything in there. It just becomes a document
Right.
of.
And how do I query this thing?
Well, we selected the SQL API, so we can actually write queries just like you would in SQL, but with a small difference. So you can only notice on the screen there, it says select star from C.
Oh, yes.
So that's a query that produced all these items.
I'm going to minimize this to get more space.
Yep.
Press edit.
So we actually want to, let's create a new SQL query at the top, Adam.
Okay, so we got new, oh, look at this. Open
that's a
full
good
screen.
button. Let's
Even
do that.
better. Open this database account in a new browser. What is this?
Yeah, let's try it.
Oh, goodness. Now I have to know my connection string. Oh,
yep.
where do we just go?
So back to the portal.
Minimizing this.
Go back a couple.
Is it possible? We're in the wrong window here.
No, we're in the right
we are?
place. Yeah. So what have we? Oh, okay. So to get the connection string, we have to go back a couple of steps. So.
Okay. All right. Too much trouble.
Yeah, too much.
Let's do it here.
Let's do it here. Okay. So
new query.
New query. So this looks familiar to a normal SQL query. Select star from
Where
C.
Name equals Callum.
Yep.
Yep.
You think that's going to work?
I hope so. Oh, all right. My SQL's not very good. What did I do wrong? Do I need
Okay. So
C name?
the difference, yes. So C is the object, as sort of an alias for what we are selecting. So then to do the where.
What else have I got wrong? At least I'm not getting an error now. Huh?
Correct. The query is actually case sensitive. So you're searching for Callum with a lowercase c.
Oh, gee. I think case sensitivity should be illegal.
Cool. So there we go. Here's the one record that is in the database matching Callum.
Okay.
Very
Awesome.
cool. So we can actually go and modify the data structures and add an additional field. Yeah?
How much did that cost me to run?
Oh, good question. How much did that cost to run? As you see, there's a query stats tab.
Oh, right.
And then this shows you, unfortunately not in dollar amounts, but in request units.
So they're making that hard for me to understand? Is that a lot of money?
It's fairly cheap, very cheap. So yes, you can measure the cost of each query. And as you develop your queries, you can see how much they're going to cost you over time and plan accordingly. It's always measure and execute on that.
All right. Cool.
Right. So click on the Documents tab again, Adam, and let's select Callum's record. So now we can actually click there and edit this document.
You want me to edit right in here?
100%.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
So let's put in another field.
Oh, we can add fields on the fly. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Callum, let's put his age.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So this is all just like a normal JSON structure.
We'll choose title.
Title, yeah.
He might not want to give me his age. He might be sensitive.
Sensitive.
Software developer, software. Yeah. How about coder? Is that better?
That's cooler.
That's much
cooler.
cooler.
Oh, all right. Fantastic.
And
so
you know
now,
how to be super cool? You add full stack.
That's it. Full stack coder.
I just modified the database well.
Cool. So now you can click the update button, and that's going to update it for us. And just to prove that our application and the database is schema agnostic, if you can alt-tab back to our application that we were running.
Hold on, one problem.
Yeah, what?
I added a field here. But do I have to fix this to add that field there?
No. No, that's what I'm trying to...
But my database is now all screwed up.
No, it's not.
Who'd want a database like this?
I'll show you how it works.
All right.
It works very nicely. So if we alt-tab back to our to-do list application, if you refresh this...
It's not going to show anything.
Nothing's changed. It just works. All right?
No, it doesn't work. It didn't show me the extra field.
You have to change your view code to show everything. But the additional... The change
tell
in
me
structure...
You're not going to make me
No, I'm not going to make you code extra today. The point is your database structure can change and it won't break anything. It's up to your application to deal with the changes.
That was your point, that it didn't break anything.
Correct.
Okay.
So every record you write to the database can have a different structure.
But we could go into the view and add that field and make it show?
Yeah, so we can edit. It'll take a little bit longer for the demo, but you can go in. Do
you want to do it?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's put it in.
He's hesitating.
We'll get Adam coding live. Let's do it. Okay, so let's start off by going to the models folder. We'll show our actual item class. And so these are the fields we saw in the database previously.
And we're missing,
Title.
title.
That's right. All right, so let's add in the title name, title property name, and we change the field to title.
Okay.
Okay, so we want to be able to just display this. We don't want to change all the Razor files. We just want to update the view item. So if you go to views and item, expand the folder there, go to index. So we just want to change to the display. Let's copy and paste the header row. Update that one to show dot title.
I'm not seeing it.
You go.
Is that because?
Ali? Oh, you probably haven't built it yet, but it's okay. So if you scroll down, we also need to change one more thing.
I just want to check it's in the IntelliSense.
Yep, there it is.
Okay,
Cool. So if we scroll down, we need to change what we're displaying here as well. So we need to display title. Yep, great.
First time we've used Visual Studio 2019 in anger.
And for a live demo on stage. Good fun. Okay.
Good.
We've got one more place to make a change. So in our item controller,
Yes.
we actually have to indicate which fields we're trying to bind to. So once we read data from the database, we want to deserialize that into our item structure, and we just need to add in the title field there. Yep. Fantastic. So now you can restart your application.
Are you confident?
You know something I don't know?
I'm just making you nervous.
No, I think we should be good. So if you just go...
Which browser do I have it in?
Oh, yeah, it'll open a new one when you start Visual Studio.
Yes, but have I closed the other one?
You have closed it,
Oh,
yeah.
did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just press play. So now we should see a new field called title, and one will have a value and one won't.
There we go.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
All right.
So
Now
quick schema changes.
You can chuck out SQL Server. Except we haven't dealt with search when it's in one database and not another.
One database and not another.
Well, you know, like it's just gone into New York, and
there
could be tiny fractional delays because we're not dealing with one database.
That's right. So we can show you how CosmosDB deals with geo-replication and how you can enable that very easily.
I wasn't really trying to get you sidetracked. I was just making a small comment.
Okay. No, do you want to show that?
No, only if you want to. I don't mind.
It's very simple. All right. So, question?
I'm just wondering, like I never used CosmosDB as a NoSQL database, but is it possible somehow to define maybe like a JSON schema or something for the data so I can use I can use type safety back in C#? So
Oh, yes, that's definitely going to...
anything for type safety.
Yeah. So the question is, can you implement some sort of type safety using a JSON schema in your application? You can do anything you want. That document structure is flexible enough for you to do any validation you want. So when you deserialize it, you can have a JSON validator checking.
I'm basically talking about on the CosmosDB itself. Can you kind of enforce the schema?
Enforcing the schema on CosmosDB, not that I'm aware of. No, don't think that's the idea of CosmosDB.
Because one of the problems with SQL Server is, have you ever looked at a table and sometimes you have a table with a couple of hundred fields and almost all of them aren't used in certain cases.
Yeah.
That is where SQL Server falls down.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is more dynamic and your storage is much better.
So with that, I think like if you wanted to add another column with a default value, it's not necessarily a good thing because you're going to have to fill in a default value for every row. You can actually start using up more space than you should. If you want a default value, it could be actually a coded default in your application rather than something that's always going to be created on every record. It becomes more of an implementation issue rather than a data structure issue. Yeah.
So we finished the demo, everything you wanted to show?
We can do one more query in the Data Explorer.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
just to show you can write queries to deal with different structures.
So there's my query. Do you want to edit this?
Yeah, so if you put in there where c.title, so we're going to try and find the records who do not have a title.
Okay.
So c.title space not is defined.
Not.
Oh, sorry. I
What are you doing?
go back to in front of c.title, and then we type in not,
Where not.
where not is defined, and then brackets, c.title, and you just need an underscore after is underscore defined.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this will run the same query.
I have a question. Can we do this in a nice rich tool?
Oh, we can, yes, we can. We can use
I'll
the
just run
Storage
this,
Explorer.
just so they've seen that. Because who wants to be in this all day long? No, not me.
So, yeah,
Oh, by the way, did it work?
it worked. Look at that. So we got Steve-O's record. Sorry, I called you Steve-O instead of Steve.
Why is not? Oh, we found all the ones where it didn't have a title. Oh,
Yeah.
very good. Now I finally knew what you were querying about.
So
Okay.
you can even write queries then to match different types of structures. So you can find the ones that may have a title, don't have a title. It really gives you a lot of flexibility on working with your data.
Well, if I was using SQL, I wouldn't even need to ask this question because it wouldn't exist.
So you'll just get back an empty field.
Yes.
you don't know
so
if
where
empty
that field is
and-
null. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so null and empty, the confusion that you have with SQL, it goes away with Cosmos.
So
In my
here we go. Here's Storage Explorer. Let me connect to that.
Okay, so just scroll down. This has got quite a few connections of mine.
Is it this one?
I think that one, yes. So expand that subscription.
Oh,
And you can see my Cosmos DB accounts there.
is that the one?
Oh, that's
the one?
Brisbane. So you've got Sydney. You notice the same as in the Data Explorer in Azure. This lets you navigate through all the collections that you have.
Oh, I should
See the items, yep. Documents.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I-
Maybe zoom out just a tad.
What have I done here? Zoom.
Yeah.
So I can't tell what I'm in at the moment.
There's no percentage, no.
Okay, I'm just going to use my mouse and
Doesn't work.
What the mouse and scroll? What the hell? That's
Not supported.
terrible.
Not supported.
So zoom out, I guess.
Yep. Can you guys still see that okay? Yep.
Oh, look at that. We can really make this quite good. Okay. Okay, let's reset the zoom.
Yep.
Great.
Okay. So again, you can click on your items there in the middle,
Yep.
and you get the same display. And the only thing that's sort of not very obvious is how do you create a new query. You actually have to right click on the documents item to create a new query tab. And then from here, we can run the same query that Adam wrote previously, execute it, and get the results. Did you copy and paste it?
No, well, make me a new query.
A
Why don't
new
we-
query.
why don't we
Okay,
find
so just
something
the
else?
opposite. Where is defined c.title? So we go the opposite way.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, hold on. Where is my mistake here?
Let's guess.
Where is
Oh. Okay.
Cool.
You guys are great. Thank you.
Wonderful. Done.
I thought I was in C# for a second. More efficient. All right.
All right, I think that covers all the possibilities of queries.
Awesome.
And we've accessed our Cosmos DB, changed it, and
Excellent.
Very
That
cool.
was a great ride. Thanks, Will. Let's do a summary. He got me to go into Azure Portal, create a resource, choose a Cosmos database. I entered a whole lot of details, then I pressed create, which was like this. You come through here, you press create, you find Cosmos DB. Super cool name, isn't it? You know, much better than being a SQL developer, being a Cosmos developer. Came in here, we entered some stuff. Remember, the API part is dependent upon your skill level, your skill set. If you're a Mongo guy, you choose that. If you're a Gremlin guy, but we chose SQL. We used the existing one, this geo redundancy. Remember I said, when you click that, that should pop up. Okay, and you should be cognizant when you leave it running during test. So we press create, it starts spinning around for a while, and then bingo, we are done. And then they make it easy just to add a quick table called a collection. So we chose .NET, we chose create that. Then we downloaded our sample app and we opened it in Visual Studio 2019. And then we opened the Data Explorer and we played around in here. And we saw there's queries and stored procs, and there's also down here, there's all of them sitting there. So you can do it all in the browser, or you can use our little Azure Storage Explorer tool. So in summary, you have a lot more options than just SQL Server today as a developer. There's many data models that you can choose and APIs. Cosmos gives you the best of relational and non-relational. It's certainly faster, it's certainly smaller, and it supports larger data sets. The downsides, it's not easy to change your mind on this stuff. Once you've got a solution up and running, it's not even easy to switch between APIs. This stuff is the architecture, okay? And data issues are always complicated, okay? But they're much easier. I consider it a pay now or pay later thing. Pay now because you are going to incur the learning of a new data store when you're all used to SQL. 90% of you said that you would choose the next solution in SQL, probably because you know it's less risk. So that's why the next solution, if it's small and it makes sense to use Cosmos, you should go for it and increase your skill set. The next step you'll probably start seeing in companies, I haven't seen any yet, but you're going to see companies have cloud data architects because things are getting complicated on the data side and you need someone in your company that is just looking at that. Maybe those old crusty sysadmins will start looking at this role and I expect to start seeing this type of title exist. So the verdict of this, I call it the Game Changer Award. Cosmos is pretty awesome. Donald Trump tweeted, use Cosmos because we have to modernize our country's databases. Smart, all right? Before I finish with this, I just want to kind of relay a conversation, and I paraphrased this a little bit. It's very close to a real conversation. Imagine this client, and before I show you that, imagine this client, to give you an idea, is a progressive client, and they kind of always use SSW sparingly, so they kind of email me, get some clues, try to go as far as they can, then engage one of our guys. He sends me this email, and he says, we write software, ingest a lot of data, more than 1,000 records a minute. We've been using SQL Server forever. The scheme is pretty fluid. Here's all the logs. That's essentially the topic of the conversation. What are your thoughts, Adam? And I reply, well, I think you should look at CosmosDB, all right? That hopefully will get him along the road. Comes back a few days later and sends me this email. Thank you, I looked at it, and there's many options. Our needs are a way to aggregate and archive the data. I need triggers for certain events based on conditions. For example, if it's less than 40, I want to send an email. And I need to display real-time charts, probably in Power BI. Can we still use CosmosDB? Now, why has he sent me this email? Because he's been reading about Cosmos and he's probably working out, I think there's some limitations, the way, how do these certain circumstances work? What should be my answer to this? So the answer is, look, you can have Azure replicate out non-SQL data into SQL Server, and in SQL Server you can do a whole lot of reports and searching and stuff like that. So then he goes off and he goes, hey, I've done some more searching on this and I've found some storage products that I've found on Azure, which sounds like they might be applicable to us. I found CosmosDB, Data Lake Store, Data Lake Analytics, and I found Time Series Insights, Data Factory, and HD Insight. And I found SQL Data Warehouse and Analysis Services and Databricks. And I found storage tables, SQL Database, and Data Catalog. And there's also Store Simple and IoT Suite. All right? And I'm looking at that, and before I can reply, I get another one. Oh, and there's a few other products here. Stream Analytics, Event Grids, Logic Apps, Store Queues, Event Hubs, Machine Learning Studio. Okay, so what do you reply to an email like this? Well, I replied, isn't it great to have so much choice? Okay. Now, of course, it's not that awesome. We know that when there is a lot of choice, have you ever gone in, like, I love ice cream, and you can usually taste about 4 or 5 before they've had enough of you tasting all the ice creams, and you just pick one, all right? And that's kind of what happens when there's too much choice. There is analysis paralysis when this happens, and this can be dangerous, especially for Microsoft if all their customers don't know which one to choose. Like, you know, I just had a meeting at lunchtime and we're talking, hey, we don't want 2 or 3 choices, just give us 1 choice. Well, giving you more than 1, we've given you a lot. So it gets pretty hard. Now, what Microsoft have done is they've created some standard patterns and practices. They've given you these nice big documents of their, they're basically infographic, and you can print these in very large prints and put it in the, you know, the war rooms of your developers, etc., to get them abreast of what's going on. All right, thank you very much for that. I think that's pretty good.